Hello everybody, my name's Kanai Manika, and welcome back to the unboxing, where one of my most anticipated One Piece figures is finally here, and that's because this is the first time in, like, a fucking year we're actually expanding the Straw Hat crew. So today, let's give a warm welcome to the SH Figuarts Nami from Romance Dawn, specifically the opening arc of the series. Yeah, this is the first new Straw Hat we've gotten since Sanji from way before, and it's gonna be the last new Straw Hat we get for a while because they have not announced a new one. The newest Straw Hat they've announced is another fucking Luffy, and as good as his egghead design is, I need the rest of the Straw Hats. Come on, Bandai, give me a Frankie, give me a Robin, give me a Brooke. Give me a Jinbei. Give me a fucking Princess Vivi. Give us everybody back into the One Piece line. But anyways, that doesn't matter because we finally have Nami right here. Again, this is her Romance Dawn appearance. This is part of their little Romance Dawn capsule, I guess. Or I guess their pre-time skip capsule, because I guess Ace kind of fits into this as well. But yeah, this is her younger appearance, and gonna be honest, one of her better designs. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite. I do like some of her post-time skip designs. I really like that look that she wears, like, briefly, like, right after Wano's done. That sweater is... But anyways, here we have Nami. Again, it keeps to the general One Piece packaging style where it's got this map design. That's the general parts of the design. But her background color is orange because, you know, oranges, tangerines, stuff like that. We get different stock images of the figure itself. This one in a stock standard pose, and this one faded out in the orange in like an excited pose. SH Figuarts, Nami, Romance Dawn, language stuff and whatnot. Toei logo, all the Bandai Tamashii Nation seals of quality. One Piece right up at the top, and in the window we've got Nami, Romance Dawn once again, and you get a look at the figure, the different face accessories that come with the figure, as well as the treasure chest, which is nice. The top, as per usual, has the SH Figuarts quote in the Luffy straw hat, which is always nice, as well as a generic map design. I don't think it's a map of the One Piece world, because I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be like Britain. And Britain isn't in One Piece. On this side, we get the usual breakdown of a bunch of fucking faces. Nami, Romance Dawn, and then cheeky, smiling, desperate, and yelling, as well as the spare face that comes with this figure for your Luffys. I'm pretty sure it fits onto basically every Luffy that's been released, so you don't have to worry about that. On this side, we get a little bit more of the window so you can see from the side. SH Figuarts, Nami, Romance Dawn, her in that desperate pose with the, like, Dawn behind her, One Piece. Bottom is the usual image of Nami right here. Super close-up version of this. Orange background, Nami, Romance Dawn, SH Figuarts. On the back, you get your usual back of package detailing for an SH Figuarts. It says the name of the figure right there. And then it's a bunch of promotional images. Her using her staff, both in a more, like, chill, happy pose and in a more desperate attack. Her being cheeky on the treasure chest, as well as the fact that the treasure chest opens, which is very nice. Super action right there, because this is showing the poses. Super modeling, because this is showing the different faces, which we've already kind of seen and whatnot. Master fully crafted sculpt accurately depicts the character in meticulous detail. The generic stock image of the figure. A full array of interchangeable hand and face parts left for expressive portrayal of the anime and the manga. Simple stare, heroic action. You know SH Figuarts by this point, I imagine. Maybe this is your first one, though, so might as well at least run down. However, now let us get into the figure. Yeah, I've been really excited for this because, oh my god, I love expanding my Straw Hat crew. That's honestly, like, a big part of why I'm collecting this line. Because I love One Piece and I especially love the Straw Hat. So let's get her out of the box so you can see everything that she comes with. This is the accessory breakdown, the accessory lowdown, whatever, what have you. Let us then open this without causing too much crazy damage or whatever to anything. Yeah, let's start with the hands, the most boring of accessories. So on her, she has a pair of fists. However, alongside that, she has a pair of wide open hands. Wide open hands. Fairly simple, fairly small, especially small hands for a one-piece figure, but it makes sense. Fairly well sculpted. Mine seems to have a little bit of a nub mark, but that's easy enough to take off. It's not like hyper crazy detailed, but I mean, like, what are you expecting? There's not a lot of detail to be had. They are slightly sharp thanks to her nails, but yeah, they look nice. Anyways, next hands are the staff gripping hands. And these are very utilitarian. They're meant for gripping the staff, which we will get to. But again, they look nice. They fit the role very well. They've got the little sculpted indent for the staff. And yeah, that's always nice to have. Finally are some extra accessories. Here we have her a nice kind of like finger gun kind of pose, like pointing kind of pose. This is always nice. This is a nice little expression to have. I always enjoy stuff like this. I think this is for like, again, that cheeky pose. For like she's just like scammed you or robbed you or whatever. It's great. It is fun. This is very expressive. It portrays a lot of character. I really like it. And finally, in terms of hands, we get this double pair of clasped hands. I've seen this a couple times before in some other Figuarts, but again, it's a nice expression to have. I feel like it fits Nami fairly well in certain moments in like the manga and the anime and whatnot. So it's nice to have, again, to recreate stuff like that. Next up, while we're here with the hands, let's take a look at the staff. Since it's basically just a brown stick piece of plastic. Again, there's a little bit of a nub mark, unfortunately, on mine, so that's unfortunate, especially given the price of these things. But it's a brown stick. I don't know what to expect out of this. It looks fine enough. It is a brown stick. Tonk. It seems to fit in well. It's a proper height for her. That's the weapon she has in Romance Dawn anyways. She doesn't have like her weather staff. I kind of wish we got that era of costumes again so we could have the weather staff. But it's whatever. Next up is faces. Let's start with the Luffy face. This is fun. This is just a big, fun, doofy grin. It fits Luffy's character very well. It's very silly, very fun. This is a fun, worthwhile face. While not the most necessary, I'm glad to have it. I feel like of faces, having DLC faces or whatever like this, where it's like something that's fun but not necessary to have, is the right way to go about it. Anyways, next up we go into Nami's faces. Let's start with her goofy face. This is like her like yelling expression when she's yelling at like the other Straw Hats for like being stupid or whatever, and it captures the look. Captures the look of like Oda's art expertly. It looks fucking great. It's 2D where it needs to be, 3D where it needs to be, and just captures the expressionality and the cartoony goofiness expertly. This is why you come to the SHF One Piece line, because it just looks amazing. However, her other expression parts, while being a lot more subtle, are still very fitting for her character. Next up, we have, again, this one's perfect. Her being all cheeky, being like, oh yeah, robbed you or whatever. And this just perfectly captures her personality. It's so fucking good. The tongue is perfectly painted. Nothing feels too overdone, too underdone. Everything just looks great, and it captures her personality wonderfully. Next up, we'll go with this desperate face. Once again, since this is very early Nami, this fits in very well. She just looks fucking tired. I call it the desperation face because while it does have that angry attack expression, she very much does look tired. As I've just expressed, I'm very bad at this. But anyways, it fits the character very well in my opinion. And yeah, I'm glad to have it. Next up, finally, is the closed eyes, like laughing face or like excited face. And again, captures it very well. This one's a lot simpler than the others, but it's nice to have. I'm not complaining in the slightest. Final accessory is the big one, the treasure chest. This makes sense to have. It's a pirate show, and if anyone's the most like money obsessed or whatever, it is Nami. So it makes sense to give her some form of that wealth. I kind of wish we got a couple more accessories, or maybe this was like hey, they could have made it like an Arlong Park Nami, so we could have gotten some Arlong Park accessories. She could have come with a straw hat since that's a mold they already have. Um, but no, we're doing Romance Dawn, which is fine enough. And they decided to give her this treasure chest, which opens up. Bit tight, but the gold treasure is very well painted. It's a bit cartoony, obviously. It's very much the one bit of gold, but very nice, very shiny. I love how it looks. It is very nice. And yeah, but otherwise it's fairly simple. Painted well, sculpted well, has that nice one-piece charm. Latch is closed like that. But now, let's get into the figure herself. Let me fucking plonk. There we go. And yeah, she's got some of the plastic in between the layers to prevent paint rub, as is to be expected from a Figuart at this point. Okay. Let me work on this. Again, as per usual with these Figuarts, a lot of the parts that could be cloth or rubber. It's a lot more... Let me just tear Nami in half for this one. It was giving me trouble, sorry. That's something you can do if you want. The cloth bits are all done in like a rubbery plastic. That seems to be changing, maybe. Like, not necessarily for skirts, but for like capes. Like, fucking Shanks's cloak and fucking what's his name? Ace's poncho. Those are being done with cloth. So maybe that's changing. But Sabo is also using plastic, and Egghead Luffy is also using plastic. So maybe not. We'll see. But yeah. Yeah, this fits Nami's aesthetic perfectly. I want to mention the hair. It's got some nice subtle painting between like a lighter orange tone and this darker orange tone towards the bottom. It fucking looks amazing. That's such a good little detail that I don't think like it's the reason honestly why I come to more expensive figures like Figuarts, because like while it's good to get a version of the character on the shelf, and I will buy them if they are not available. Again, I do have a Brook. Having this level of like nice like detail just fucking knocks Figuarts out of the park. Come on. Her face is this generic smiling face. I kind of wish we also came with a more neutral face, but Nami's generally fairly emotive, fairly expressive, and it fits. As you can tell, she is wearing the Romance Dawn outfit, which it to be fair is one of her most iconic costumes in the series. So it makes sense, and it is very well portrayed here. It's fairly simple. It's got the blue lines on the white shirt, and then the orange skirt with the two like dots on the sides. But it portrays it perfectly. She feels solid, which is nice. That's good to see. But let's go over her articulation while we're here. There's a little bit of for the sake of articulation, a little blemish on the side because it's a rubber overlay, I think, for her shirt. It's a bit weird. Let's get into that articulation. Head's on that good old barbell joint. Able to look up. Not super far. The hair gets a little bit in the way. She's able to look down a bunch, though, and the up is able to be made up for by the torso. Tons of joints in the torso, which allow her to arch back, arch forward very well, arch side to side. Yeah, this is a fun figure. She also has a swivel down at the waist, as is to be expected. The shoulders are a bit exposed. They're very similar to Luffy's. I don't have my Luffy on me. I moved him out of this room very recently, which is probably a bad idea. But, again, shoulders are very similar to Luffy, which means they have a ton of range. They're able to butterfly a little bit, able to move out, able to move all the way around as you would like. Basic kind of like ball hinge stuff. It's a complex set of joints, but it accomplishes what you would want. There is a bicep cut for a bicep swivel, but it makes sense because it's where the shirt ends and where the arm begins. It's very organically done. Double bend at the elbow, which is always nice to see, especially on thinner limbed characters. Hands are the usual SHF hands. You know what you're getting into with an SHF hand, though it's like pin, hinge, pin. So yeah, the skirt is again a rubber part, but it seems small enough that it's small enough that it does not get in the way like at all. This isn't a fucking Zoro situation, since it's short and it has a split in it and it's a fairly light amount of material. It does not get in the way at all. This is not something that needs a cloth upgrade, for those of you wondering. So she's able to kick forward. She's able to kick back. Sorry, Chainsaw Man on the brain a little bit. She's able to kick out. nice and far. She's able to do basically everything you would want it to do. The skirt gets like a tiny bit in the way, but a negligible amount. I'm pretty sure she might even have drop downs, which makes that even more negligible. I'm not sure. Let me fucking check. I don't feel the drop downs, but like they might be there. It doesn't matter. Shh. Sorry. Thigh swivel. It's like a thigh cut, but again, it's hidden by the skirt. Single jointed knee, which is fine enough. Again, this is fairly standard for their smaller, thinner characters, mostly femme characters. No boot cut, but again, the usual foot articulation. Swivel hinge, swivel, which allows for an ankle pivot, a swivel, and a hinge forward and backward. Fairly decent. I kind of wish there was a little bit more, but it's enough. And then a toe bend. So yeah, all the articulation you would want, which is great. One Piece has sometimes had articulation issues, but since this is a nice, simple figure, this is going to be a figure that works. One Piece's best figures are its simplest so far. The ones that try to do too much tend to not really have the budget or whatever to accommodate that. So, yeah, I recommend getting Nami if you are interested in One Piece, if you are interested in Nami as a character, all that good jazz. This is a figure that is worth getting if you're on the fence about it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for that little interruption in the middle, but don't forget to do the usual YouTube stuff, and let me know. Information in the comments below. Do you want me to review this figure? Let me know what you think of One Piece, what you think of the character of Nami, what you think of this figure. In the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. And until next time, which should be hopefully pretty soon, I will see you all later. Yeah. Bye-bye.